Welcome to México Mágico. Today you'll be transported to the beautiful country of Mexico, where we will be guided by many pieces of music. But before we start, I've had this question for many years. How did music come to Earth? Well, I've spent 4 years at a music institution and I still don't know the answer. But one thing I do know is that the elders in my community know the answer to every single question. Let's sit down with Abuelito Alfredo. He says he has a story he wants to share.
Tonante, Makwari Chiwalakan. Good morning, welcome. Buenos días, bienvenidos. How music came into the world. There are stories that have been passed by word of mouth for centuries. According to the Mexican legend, in this world there were no songs, no music, only the wind moving around. The world was in silence. One day, in this wild and windy world, two ancient gods met. The first was Tezcatlipoca, the sky god, powerful and proud, with eyes that could see everything. The second was Quetzalcoatl, the wind god, with wings that can take him through the heavens. They were both mighty in their own ways. Sometimes there were enemies. They fight each other in fierce storms. But sometimes they were friends and helped each other. Tezcatlipoca, the sky god, spoke first.
What took you so long, Quetzalcoatl?
It's hurricane season. I've been busy whipping up the waves.
This is more important than hurricanes.
I'll be the judge of that.
Stop huffing for a moment and listen. What do you hear?
Nothing?
Exactly, nothing. No one is singing, no one is playing a note. The only sound we can hear is your whining. We need to wake up this world, Quetzalcoatl. And I don't mean with your hurricanes. We need music.
Music? What does that have to do with me? I have no music.
But I know who does have it. The sun god, Don Diwan. He surrounds himself with singers and musicians who play and sing for him all day long. But he refuses to share his music with anyone else.
The sun god won't share? That's not fair. This music should be for everybody, for all creatures in this world.
I know. So listen, kids. I want you to travel to the House of the Sun. I want you to bring back the best singers and best musicians you can find. Remember, we need to wake up this world. We need music.
And with that, Quetzalcoatl, the wind god, launched himself into the air, his wings stretching wide. He flew over land and sea, searching for that shore, knowing that only one path would take him to the house of the sun. At last, he spotted the distant shoreline and landed. He called out the sky god's free servant.
Cain and Conch water woman and water monster. I command you to build me a bridge to the house of the sun. I will bring you back music for you to hear.
Quetzalcoatl climbed the bridge higher and higher, leaving the earth far below him, until finally he reached the shining towers of the house of the sun. But his journey was not over yet. He first had to find his way around the labyrinth of winding corridors that led to the house, the heart of the sun's palace. He wandered in circles, growing frustrated with every single step. But just when he was about ready to give up, he heard something that made his heart flutter, a beautiful sound. It was cool, bright, sweet, and light. Quetzalcoatl followed the melody and soon found himself in the great courtyard of the sun, where musicians played their instruments.
Stop playing! Stop singing! That terrible wail of God is Quetzalcoatl. Don't speak to him! He will take you back to that boring and silent world of his.
But the wind god was not deterred. He spread his wings and cried out,
Musicians, singers, listen to me. It is I, Quetzalcoatl, Lord of the Winds. I have come to rescue you from the evil sun god who keeps you a prisoner in his palace.
But the musicians stayed silent, staring at him, unsure. The wind god was beginning to lose his patience. He called out again,
Singers, musicians, come play your music for me and my world. The creatures of my planet need music to come alive. Follow me to freedom!
But still, the musicians did not move. Quetzalcoatl, filled with frustration, exploded in anger. The winds howled as if 100 hurricanes had gone off at once. Lightning cracked, thunder roared, and dark clouds swirled around the house of the sun, turning daylight into night. The wind god's fury was nothing like these musicians had ever seen before. Trembling with fear, the musicians ran to Quetzalcoatl, seeking shelter. As quickly as it had come, the wind god's anger faded. The storm passed, and the clouds cleared. Quetzalcoatl gently took the musicians into his arms as they all escaped the house of the sun god.
As they all descended back down to earth, something magical happened. The war started to come alive. Fruit became ripe and flowers started to blossom in ever richer colors. Quetzalcoatl touched down gently. The musicians surrounded him. They look around, taken in the silence of this waiting world. Then, with a joyful cry, they began to play. Soon, all humanity learned to sing and play, and so did the trees and birds, the whales and wolves, the crickets and frogs, and every other creature on earth. From dawn to dusk, the melodies spread until music covered the earth. The wind god happy with their new home. And ever since that day, our world has been filled with music.
And to present our first piece, Sensemaya, will you help me in welcoming the first group of Foxford Academy students to the stage? All right, so we're gonna go through the line and we're each going to say a little thing about Sensemaya, the first piece we're going to play, okay?
Hello, my name is Rayon. Esta canción suena aterradora, me gustan los metales, suena como música azteca.
And in English, that means the song sounds scary, and I like when the brass family plays. It also sounds like Aztec cavemen. Thank you. All right.
Hello, my name is Hassan. Esta canción no es feliz. En el principio está calando, luego está muy fuerte. El final toca la familia de progresión. La historia de la serpiente es muy triste. El serpiente estaba bailando para el pueblo.
And then in English, Hassan wrote, "It is not a happy song. At first it's calm, but it will be loud in the middle and loud at the end of the song, with the instruments and the percussion family. The story of the song is very sad. It's about a snake sacrifice."
Hello, my name is Taylor, and Sensemaya in a unique way is really hyper and chaotic. You won't really hear things like this.
Hi, my name's Romani, and Sensemaya sounds mysterious and it's quite loud, and it's the music of the snake.
And in English, oh sorry, you've got it in English already? All right.
My name's Faith, and to be honest, this piece of music sounds mysterious and scary. At the beginning it sounds calm, and then it becomes much louder.
My name is Anelia, and I like the loud part, especially mainly the brass part. The trumpet and percussion are my favourite in this piece.
Thank you very much. again. So we're gonna have the second group of Oxford Academy students come up and present El Son de la Negra. Okay, he's coming up. All right. Okay.
In my opinion, this piece is loud and... In my opinion, this piece is loud, but in a good way. It is fast and happy.
And in Spanish, Faith wrote, en mi opinión, es ruidoso y en el buen sentido, rápido y alegre.
I like this piece because it's uplifting and it's a good song to dance to because of the fast rhythms.
And in Spanish, me gusta esta pieza porque es edificante y es una buena canción para bailar, porque tiene un ritmo rápido.
I like how fast it's going. I like the Bradshaw music.
Thank you so much. Hi again. So, we have a very important person in the audience today. It is the Mexican ambassador to the UK, Josefina González Blanco. If you can help me in welcoming her up on the stage. Josefina's here to tell you a little bit about Mexican culture, being the ambassador.
Thank you very much. It is an absolute honor to be right here in Birmingham. I have a part of my heart I want you to know. A part of my heart stayed here in Birmingham very many years ago. I came around and I just fell in love with this place. It is amazing. It's so multicultural. That reminded me of Mexico. I come from Mexico. I come from the south of Mexico. Who knows where Chiapas is? Okay. I come from Chiapas. Chiapas is a place that's rainforest. In my ecosystem, we have red macaws flying, jaguars, crocodiles, 5-meter-long snakes, tortoise, a lot of green, it's so green, it's so lush, it's so humid, it's so beautiful. And we sing and we dance, we make music, we make friends. And Mexico is an amazing country. There's so many, for example, ecosystems. We have desert, do you know Sahara Desert? We have dunes like that. We have the rainforest that I described to you. We have the most beautiful beaches with this soft blue sea that meets the amazing sky, and it's warm and it's delicious and food is fabulous. Have you, in the front rows, tried Mexican food? No? Okay, that's homework for you. All right. Mexican food is absolutely amazing. And let's see, the adults here, have you tried Mexican food? Yeah, of course you have. This morning, exactly. Our food, we have tamales. Tamales is a mixture of corn, very soft, filled with cheese and vegetables, some chicken, some courgettes. It's absolutely delicious. In Mexico, we have something, we are very friendly. We love music, we love art. There is an artist in every Mexican. I believe there's an artist in all of us. But as Mexicans, we love color. We love music. We just love. That's very much in our nature. We have big mountains. We have amazing ecosystem. The culture is very rich, it's very lush. You just saw Quetzalcoatl, all this mythology that we have is very rich, and it portrays our ecosystem. For example, I am from the Maya region. I'm of Mayan ancestry, and for us, the crocodile is a door for the underground, for underworld, for what for others could be hell or Hades world. For us, the door is a crocodile. It's really interesting because it's a god animal. But we have the Aztecs, the Mayas. I would really encourage these amazing, beautiful young minds that we have here today to research, ask questions with that very bright minds that you have about Mexico. What's Mexico? What are we about? What do we eat? What do we wear? It can be a very interesting journey that might take you when you're older to visit us. I'm sure some of you have visited us. And just be curious about what's Mexico, what you would like to learn, know, maybe visit one day, maybe experience, maybe try to go to Mexico and see the red macaws that are birds this big. They're red and green and yellow and blue, flying in the sky, displaying all these amazing colors. And you might want to see that. Actually, I do want to see that. I'm homesick. I miss my country, but I love Great Britain. And we have a lot of values that we share, and we have a lot we share with the British. We've always been friends, Mexico and the United Kingdom. And now Mexico and Birmingham are closer to each other because we have, Auntie Dad, we have a Mexican honorary consul who represents us here in Birmingham. And she is in charge of supporting us as a community, for the Mexican community. We have an honorary consul. She is very generous, she's very good. She loves Mexico, she has visited us. We are going to learn to dance that dance. And in September, we're going to wear a dress like that and we're going to dance. Oh yes, just give us a bit of time. So, Dad, thank you very much. Thank you very, very much. She's very important. She's our auntie here in Birmingham. I'm the auntie for the Mexicans and the non-Mexicans and the Mexican lovers, but I live in London. Thank you very much. This is absolutely amazing. I am really moved by this music. It's really touching my heart. I'm feeling very emotional. You can imagine, away from home, hearing this music performed by you in such a magnificent way. Thank you so much. It's really got me. It really, how you escaped. Oh, that was amazing. It was brilliant. How you staged it, and the passion that you're putting into this performance is fabulous, because it's the same passion that we have for the arts. So that unites us. And when you play Mexican music and we hear it, and we come outside and you present beautifully our culture, and we see the dance, that's a way of building peace in a difficult world. You are Mexican ambassadors, building peace, building on love, and this has a ripple effect. What we are doing today is most important for the world, for all of us, for our communities. This is a show of how we can be in the world. I want to be in a world where we can all be here together, similar and different, coexisting in harmony and in love. So I think I'll just leave it, because that's what Mexico wants for the world. Thank you, everybody. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. She's traveled all the way from London, and there's been from Milton Keynes, from Coventry, Houston. People have been traveling from everywhere, so thank you very much for coming today. Our next piece is Huapango by Jose Moncayo. Could we please have the third group of Oxford Academy students come on stage and present this piece?
Hello, my name is Michelle, and it is an exciting music to dance to, and I like the strings.
And in Spanish, he wrote, esta música emocionante para bailar. Me gusta los instrumentos de cadena. Thank you very much. everyone. I hope you're enjoying yourself. My name is Michelle Amezcua, and I just wanted to come and talk to you a little bit about the backstory of this project, as I'm the project manager. So, I am the first person in my family to be born outside of Mexico, which makes me a first-generation American. And it was a little bit tricky growing up because in terms of my identity, I didn't know if I was too American, or if I was too Mexican, etc. And so the thing is, my parents made sure to keep Mexico throughout all of our childhood. So they kept our traditions, our food, and though I gave them a lot of pushback, they made us learn Spanish. It wasn't until I moved to Birmingham to study that I realized I had this longing to feel more at home, which is when I started being interested in researching more about Mexico and my cultural roots. I had the opportunity to travel to Oaxaca, Mexico through the Global Ambassador Scheme at the Conservatoire. Thank you, Ruth. And I finally understood the key elements of what makes up a culture. And I realized it was music, dance, art, and a lot of food. Now, we all come from different places in the world, and we each have our own traditions. But most of the time, we avoid sharing them with people outside of our inner circle. I hope that you've been enjoying this performance and feel like you've stepped foot into a small part of Mexico. But most importantly, I hope that you feel motivated to share your own personal traditions to the world. And I also want to thank all the musicians on stage, and also This Is Mexico, which is the queer-led folk dance group from London, as well as all the techies, the cameras, the lighting, everyone that's helped me today. And please, can you help me in welcoming the final group of Foxford Academy students to present our final song, Rico el Mambo. About all of these students is I've been doing workshops with them since December I think, right? Once every month. Have you guys enjoyed it? That's the only answer you can say. So what's your favorite thing that you've learned through the music part? Yeah, you? Everything? Music. So we learned about the food, the Day of the Dead festival as well, music, what's the other one? Folk dancing, etc. Right? Okay, so our final piece, Rico el Mambo.
Hola, me llamo Elda. Me gusta mucho esta canción. Tiene una melodía compuesta por instrumentos interesantes y diversos. Me gusta mucho la parte en la que canta Mambo, Rico el Mambo. Gico porque la canta con entusiasmo. También creo que tiene un significado que se relaciona con la cultura cubana. Espero que os guste. For those who don't understand Spanish, I'll now translate it in English. Hello, my name is Elda. I really like this song. It has a joyful melody made up of interesting and diverse instruments. I really like the part when they sing Mambo, Rico el Mambo, Gico which they sing it with enthusiasm. I also think it has a meaningful story which relates to Cuban culture. I hope you like it.
Hello, I'm Sasha. Me encanta esta pieza porque es muy optimista y alegre. Es feliz, tiene un ritmo rápido, es mi favorito. I love this piece because it is upbeat, it is happy and has a fast tempo. It is my favorite.
name is Annabelle. Rico el Mambo es alegre y rápida. Me gusta la percusión y los metales. Me dan ganas de bailar. Es mi pieza favorita.
And finally in English,
It is joyful, upbeat and fast. I like the percussion and brass. It makes me want to dance.
this is Rico el Mambo. Thank you all for coming. Feel free to stand up and dance.